Time. Selfish by nature, and it waits for no one. But tonight, dear listener, we at Penance RPG bring you another tale from the minds of Nikolai Popsky and Artie McNeil. A tale of a village with a hidden secret and a party of heroes racing against the clock. So as we wind up the timer, we bid thee stay a while, for this is one of many variations of our 2019 Halloween story.
Welcome to the Penance Halloween Project, this episode featuring Beyond the Tavern. Some of you may remember them from last year. So, before we get underway, who are you, where do people know you from, and what are you playing tonight? Starting with John Boulder.
Hi everybody, I'm Steven from Beyond the Tavern. Tonight I will be playing a human fighter by the name of John Boulder. He's just a man on a quest, looking for some adventure. He was born in a blacksmithing family, envies all of the adventures that came in, and so now he's out on his own adventure.
Fair enough. Next we have Simone.
Hi, this is Kaylin Vicarian from Beyond the Tavern podcast and our Instagram. Just in case you've ever checked that out, we have one. I will be playing Simone, the halfling wizard. She is bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and just ready to get out there and meet the world.
Fantastic. And finally, we have Zeke.
Hi, I'm Aaron, the Dungeon Master for Beyond the Tavern, and tonight I'm playing Zeke, a Goliath thief who doesn't really pick pockets. He's mostly just, he'll mug you, and that's why he's a thief. He is about 7'2", very broadly muscular like most Goliaths are, and he has silver hair and a top knot most of the time.
Excellent. So, as per usual with these tales, you have all responded independently to a notice of work from one of the guilds. This time it is a guild that is looking for a group to go down and investigate a missing beast hunter. So as you all arrive in this tavern and take your seat in the corner bar, which is where you've been told to meet up, a human of about middle age in a sort of long black leather coat and tri-corner hat turns up with a sort of rugged look on his face. He introduces himself as Christoph Raducan. He tells you that he is one of the major hunters in the guild and one of his best vampire hunters, a man by the name of Wilfred Barsh, has basically stopped responding to any letters they've sent to try and find him. He recently travelled to the village of Dorohirsk, which is a small village nearby in the sort of shadow of one of the old royal family's castles. So, what would you like to know?
I'd just like to say thank you for sending the invite out for this quest. Just curious, I really haven't been on any adventures before, so just what are we dealing with?
All I'm looking for you to do is to travel to this Dorohirsk and inquire as to the fate of my vampire hunter. Hopefully he is fine. He does take his work quite seriously, but yes, we don't expect him to have been killed, but if his fate has been such, then we'd like you to report back and tell us so.
Was he actively hunting a vampire?
You see, it's the middle of summer at the moment, and as many of you know, the sort of desire for vampire hunters is quite low in the summer. So after we'd received a letter almost every week from this Dorohirsk village to say that they had a vampire and all the proof they had was some dead animals, we decided that it wasn't really worth the time. You know how much fame and interest a vampire hunter in the area can bring to a sort of small region, especially one that's suffering after the tragic death of the royal family, God rest their soul, a few years ago.
Tragic death? By what means?
The royal family died from plague. God rest their soul.
So what's he look like?
Oh, he's sort of middle-aged human, really. Similar to myself, really. He'll have a sort of long black leather coat. He's very determined. You'll know him when you see him. He's got quite a thick accent.
Okay, so Simone, who has been like scribbling notes furiously in a little field notebook, wants to ask, is there anything we should bring in particular with us?
Not really. All you need to do really is check this village. I mean, all it's really known for is turnip farming, and these badly misspelled letters they've sent us over the past 6 months have been getting more and more boring. I think Wilfred only took it to sort of tide himself over till the vampire hunting begins in the winter.
What's the pay?
I will pay you each 100 gold, but I'll pay you 50 up front. Keep you loyal.
I got a question.
Yep.
I mean, is he like your only buddy?
No, we have many vampire hunters, but sending a vampire hunter to check on a vampire hunter is not done. It seems a bit... well, it's just sort of... it's like saying you don't believe they're going to get the job done. It's a little bit inconsiderate.
Oh, right. Okay, right. Got it.
Well, yeah, we don't want to be rude if we don't have to be.
Exactly. If I send a small troop of adventurers down there, if he's not... fallen off the world and he is genuinely just taking his time, then, introducing yourself and saying, I'm just here to check up on you, that's fine. If I sent one of our own down, well, it might sort of upset him that, the guild doesn't believe in his talent, and Wilfred has been one of our best for many years.
How far away is this town, and are you covering our travel?
Oh, it's only about half a day's travel. We will cover it. We will even cover you a couple of days in the inn, just to check around the area. It was the inn that Wilfred was meant to be staying in, but all correspondence has been returned that he no longer lives there.
This adventure doesn't seem too bad. Count me in.
So, you said that this town had been sending you letters saying that they had a vampire, but they didn't have a whole lot of proof, right?
Yes, they're all badly spelled, and I fear someone who can barely read or write has written them. They're disgusting.
Was there a name on that? Somebody that we should
contact? They were all
contact?
signed by the council. There was the name given, seemed to look like a scribble, but it could be Jack? Something like that. It was very badly written.
Alright.
Would I be able to see the letter, please?
Oh, I don't carry any on me, but I can arrange for them to be sent to you if you really want.
I think it could help. Thank you.
And do you have any of the letters that you'd been sending?
No,
Guy we're going to find.
I have nothing on me that we tried to send him. Most of it just returned with the mail, really. Usually it arrives and it gets taken from the stables to the inn. The innkeeper says he doesn't live here. She's never heard of him. And then it gets taken back to the delivery and brought back to us. Well, that's what happened to the last several letters anyway.
Alright, well, that's all I need to know.
And as I said, it's not uncommon for a beast hunter to go off the grid, as it were, but it's been at least 3 weeks since we last heard of him.
Oh, one more thing. Does he have any aliases or other names that he goes by or anything like that?
He's quite a proud man. He always seems to go by Wilfred.
Alright.
Or, Hunter Barsh, but no one really calls him that apart from in formal letters.
Alright, Tiny, you keep track of that name because I'm definitely going to forget it.
Oh, it's already in my notebook. Don't worry.
Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to know?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so you have a couple more drinks. The next morning comes round and you all jump into this reasonable looking cart which is delivering a couple of people and some mail. And half a day later, just as you're getting into early evening, it goes over this hill and down into this small hamlet that is Dorohirsk. What you can see at this point is you see the castle. It is kind of like a sort of keep style castle. It looks like it's got one main entrance in and out, a sort of massive studded metal door, like mostly wood and metal, make up the door to the castle. You have the blacksmith and stables, which is where you've just arrived to on your cart. There's a small stall where the blacksmith seems to be crafting mostly tools for the local region, and the stables obviously. There is the town hall, which sits quite grandly in the middle of the town square. There is the town square itself. There is the inn, which is the only inn in Dorohirsk, and it's just imaginally just called the Dorohirsk Inn. And behind the inn, to the back, there is a massive graveyard. These are the 6 locations that you'll be able to choose from throughout this tale. So, for your first time slot, which is the early evening of day 1, your choices are the blacksmith or stables, the town hall, and the inn. Where would you like to go?
I think we should probably do the inn at night. But I'm open to whatever.
Well, if the council is sending letters to this Hunter Bosch, we should probably check the town hall, see if they've got a chanter's board or an official we could talk to that's working late. Get some information from him, maybe?
That makes sense. Let's do that.
Okay, raise your hands for the town hall. I raise my hand. Okay.
Lead the way, short stuff.
Okay. Town hall it is. You all get your stuff from your carriage and you make your way down towards the town hall. As you're approaching the town hall, you hear the sound within of quite a loud debate going on. Do you wish to listen? Do you wish to knock? Do you wish to enter? What do you wish to do?
I would like to gesture for them to be quiet, and then would like to step up and try and listen in before we make our presence known.
Okay.
I will quietly look around the space and take notes about the architecture and just check out the space.
Okay.
See what it looks like.
I'll describe the building first then. The building itself looks reasonably decent construction. It looks like it was made much more in a sort of heyday when it looks like the royal family would have toured and occasionally stayed in this sort of keep as a sort of summer vacation, and people maybe would tour, and the architecture of this building is actually quite nice. But this building and the inn seem to be the only ones that have the architecture, like they've been there a while and they've had a lot of time and effort put into the construction. Every other building just looks like it was just sort of ramshackle and maybe dusted off a little bit if there was good company coming.
Okay.
From the town hall itself, you listen and you hear the following.
He punched my wife. I'm not going to stand for this. He should be cast out of town.
Well, Ernst, it's, your wife did provoke him.
She did not provoke him. She said good morning, and he punched her in the face.
Well, yes, Ernst, but you have to understand that Bill is a very well-educated man, and he's got a job to do. She felt like she was in the way.
She was not in the way. She was just wishing him a good morning. He's an ungrateful sod. Don't get why we're paying him.
Well, you see, Ernst, the reason we're paying him is because Jacob here says that he's the best you can get.
Well, Uwe, yes, he is the best we can get. I mean, we applied to that guild for 6 months. Eventually they sent us him, and don't get me wrong, I know that Bill seems to be a problem, but he is doing the Lord's work.
You always say he's doing the Lord's work, but I don't think he's doing it properly. I mean, we could have hired any old scrub half the money we paid him, and they would have done it, they would have killed that vampire.
But you see, Ernst, we can't just have anyone kill him. I mean, would you cope with having the blood on your hands of damning some child's immortal soul with the blood of killing that creature?
You always do this, Jacob. You make things up. I'm sick of it. All we need to do is hire a good hand from another village, and you'll do away with a vampire for a lot less.
Well, I think that Ernst has a point, but I don't really think that we should exclude what Jacob says too much. I mean, it looks good to have a vampire hunter here. I mean, the people, when we first got Bill, were very happy. They were like, oh, good, the town council cares for me, and that's how I like it in this town.
At this point, I'm just going to kind of gesture to Simone over.
I will creep over quietly.
His name was William, right? The guy we're looking for.
No, Wilfred Bosch.
They keep referring to Bill. I wonder if that might be him. Should we go in and ask?
Okay, are you wanting to just walk in or you want to knock?
I will knock on the door.
So, you knock on the door? Are you sort of patiently knocking? Are you urgently knocking?
I will just do a very polite 1, 2, 3 knock.
Ah, right.
I just
we have to practice the drill. No vampire, you will not be allowed in today.
Well, would a vampire knock? I'll call through the door.
If it coughs at the door, Jacob, but we meant to still tell it to go away.
Well, Uwe, you've told me that vampires are not allowed permission to come in.
Right, okay. No vampire. If you were not a vampire, you'd have just walked in here. but 'cause you're a vampire, you're not allowed in.
I'm just gonna throw the door open at that.
Oh, hey, well, that's not nice.
Okay, you throw the door open and just walk inside. You see an elderly man off to one side. In the middle, you see quite a large, balding, fat man with a big moustache. And you see a sort of younger man sitting at a table, looks like he's making notes.
Hey, look, I did it. I'm not a vampire.
The older man goes,
See, Jacob? It's a good system, 'cause no vampire can come in because they can't have walked in here if they were vampires.
Yes, Uwe, we know. We've had this drill for quite a while now. All three of them sort of turn to you expectantly, as if waiting for you to introduce yourselves.
Hello.
Hello. I am John Boulder, and these are my companions, Simone and Zeke.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Jacob. We've got some new people moving to the town. I'd love to meet yours. John, was it? Right, great. And write his name down, Jake. Where would you like to live, John? Have you picked up a street that you like the feeling of?
I haven't really been through the town yet, but maybe you could show me around?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We will do that one day, definitely, yes. I mean, this town is wonderfully vibrant and amazing community, isn't that right, Jacob?
Yes, Uwe, yes.
This is Ernst, and he points to the large fat man with the moustache. Ernst, say hello. I mean, these are wonderful new people. I mean, they could be the next good thing in this town. Well, I don't like them at all. I think they should just go away.
And the young man's just still writing notes, and he goes,
And over there we have Jacob. Say hello, Jacob, to the nice gentleman.
Hello.
He's not a man of words, you see.
So, you said we could be the next good thing here. What was the last good thing you had?
Oh, we've had many good things here. We've had so many wonderful people choose to come live in Doddlehurst over the generations. Have one of you brought your family?
Yes,
No,
this is
just
my
that.
child.
Oh, well, no.
Child,
pick
you
up
say.
Simone.
Well, that's wonderful. How old is the gorgeous dear there? We have a good school in here, too.
First of all, put me down. Put me down right now.
Don't come at me with that attitude, Simone, or I will ground you. But I'll set her down.
Well, this is just offensive, and I will adjust my glasses. Good sirs, we have come seeking a compatriot of ours. His name is Wilfred Bosch. He has a long black coat and a very heavy accent. Have you met-
Wilfred Bosch.
Yes.
I don't recognize the name. Do you know the name, Jacob?
And the young man goes, No, Uwe, I don't recognize the name Wilfred Bosch. I'll look through our records.
What about Bill?
And the young man sort of stops and looks up and says, What about Bill?
Well, sometimes Bill is a nickname for Wilfred. Wilfred. Bill.
I never thought of that, but as far as we're aware, we've never known anyone called Wilfred. As far as we know, it's just Bill.
Oh, so there's a Bill here.
I mean, it could be the same person, I suppose, now you mention it like that, but Wilfred's a very grand name. I wouldn't have thought that for someone like Bill. And
Who
at
is this Bill?
At this point, the fat man goes,
He's a menace. I just think he should be thrown out of here. Bastard.
What did he do?
He punched my wife. I mean, what would you say if filth like that came up to you and punched your wife?
Filth like what?
Bill. Unwashed swine that sleeps in fields.
Sleeps
Thinks
in
you can
field.
get everything for free.
So, you said that you were petitioning the guild for Bill. Is Bill the vampire hunter?
Oh yes, Bill is the vampire hunter, yes. He arrived about a month ago.
And you say he's been sleeping in a field.
Well, he had a small disagreement with the innkeeper, and, well...
His wife?
One thing left to another, and Bill was told to leave. Well, the inn, anyway. Apparently, he was quite rude.
Alright, I like him.
Well, that doesn't sound like our Wilfred, but we can certainly go have a look for you.
Oh, wonderful. Get to know the clientele. That's a fantastic thing to do. Go and frequent the inn. Tell the lovely Zartarosa I sent you.
Zartaroso?
Zartarota Tootsie. Wonderful woman. Very big, personality.
Nailed it.
Well, I won't make that note in my field journal, but I will write her name down.
No, that's the most important note. Put it down.
No, I'll bat your hand away.
I will send you to your room.
I'm just gonna glare at you so hard from my tiny halfling stance. So hard.
It's so good to have new people back in the village, Ernst, don't you agree? Well, welcome, I suppose. You know, once that bill leaves, you'll all be free in this town a lot happier.
What's with that whole, you telling us vampires can't come in? Do you have a lot of vampires around here or something?
No, we only have the one, and it's being taken care of, don't you worry about that. The city is completely safe, don't worry about that. We have taken some great precautions to make sure everybody is fine.
Just a couple questions.
Well, I don't know
Of
about you guys,
course.
but I'm very assured that this is very, very safe. And I'm winking at John and Simone, but they can see me winking because I'm winking the wrong eye.
Oh, don't worry, right. I will tell you the last fantastic thing we did to make sure all the people are safe. We made sure every location in this town is full with a barrel of holy water.
That sounds smart.
That sounds expensive.
Yes, we've been told that this holy water is very good against vampires. Apparently you splash them with it and it makes them burn.
So just a few questions. Have you guys seen the vampire? Could you possibly give me a description?
Well, he moved in about 6 months ago. He was very rude to Zartarosa. He got off onto the wrong foot, admittedly, but ever since then he's been... well... There was the whole thing with the horse that we don't get into, but...
We don't talk about that, Jacob, not in polite company.
Yes, well,
I just put my hands over Simone's ears. Go on.
No,
No, don't talk about such things. It's a lovely conversation we're having. Let's not ruin it with, filth like that. It's not appropriate.
and the young man goes, well, yes, okay. But since the vampire moved in, we've had lots of animals turn up, bled dry all around town. And
So is there a little baby centaur running around somewhere?
centaur?
Alright,
Oh,
never mind.
What is this about a centaur? I'm not familiar. Let me get a new page. He turns over the page and says, what is this centaur?
Oh, Jacob, would this be an interesting new tourist attraction that we could bring to the town? What is this about a centaur?
I mean, if you haven't seen one, then it's fine. And then I remove my hands from Simone's ears.
I mean, if we got one of those, it would make the town more appealing. Do you know where we could find one?
I thought you already had one. Never mind, it's fine.
But they are elusive, Jacob. Make a note of that they're elusive. We'll look into it later.
Yes, Uwe.
So John just has this whole baffled look after this whole conversation. I was mostly wondering about his description, not what he did. What does he look like? If you guys have seen him.
Oh, the vampire. Well, he looks like a vampire, kind of thing.
Okay.
And
Can't say I've ever
at this
met
point,
one.
you look over and the younger man has got one of his hands in his face, just oh, for fuck's sake. And he goes, he's a scrawny man that lives in the castle.
So while I'm standing here being treated like a child, I have a 2 in lore. Does this sound like anything I may have read about vampires or kind of make sense at all in anything I might know
The
about?
only thing that you can sort of tie to could it be a vampire is that there's the bloodless animals being found around town and it's a scrawny man that lives in a castle.
Okay.
Right. Who's this scrawny man that lives in the castle? Does he have a name?
He's the vampire.
That's a nickname.
The vampire?
Got it. I'll call him Vamp.
That'll do. We just refer to him as that vampire.
So...
And at this point, Ernst just sort of mutters to himself,
Bastard vampire ruining all the things in the town.
How long has this vampire been in town?
the vampire's been here for about 6 months. He came down from somewhere up north and said he had to move into the castle to do something about the royal family's belongings or something. We tried to get more out of him, but after his treatment of Zatarosa, we don't tend to talk to him much.
I think John would look to Simone and Zeke and kind of just wink really noticeably and head nod outside.
Okay. As you turn around about to leave, Ernst turns to Jacob and goes,
And what about Mr. Goggins? You don't hear anything since he died, and all the people haven't forgotten either. Bill should be cast out.
Oh, Ernst, you're not still going on about Bill, are you?
He should have been thrown out on his ear as soon as Mr. Goggins died.
Who is this that died?
Oh, nothing. It was a small spat between the villagers and Bill. It's nothing to worry about. Just be on your way, you're fine.
Well, again, this doesn't sound like our Wilfred, but we will certainly check this Bill fellow out, see if he's the one we're looking for.
Okay. So it's up to yourselves if you want to ask anything else or if you'd like to move on to the next location.
I think I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm tired. We should go to the inn.
Okay, your next choices are the castle, the inn, or the graveyard.
I mean, the inn makes most sense from, going to sleep point of view, but could be something fun at the graveyard, just saying.
Or the castle, just saying.
Well, it's dark. Don't vampires typically come out in the nighttime?
I'm just not even convinced there is a vampire here. I think these people are just dealing with the weirdo.
Well,
I think there's a lot of weirdos in this town.
Or Bill's the vampire. Wouldn't that be a twist?
That's what they're saying. That's not really much of a twist.
no, they're just saying that he's a very rude person.
Yeah. No, wait, Bill's not the vampire, you're right. The scrawny old man.
I would be okay with any of them. What do you guys want to do?
Let's go to the inn. We'll talk to the innkeeper. And then tomorrow morning, maybe we can go, as much as I don't want to, check the graveyard, see if there's maybe a fresh grave that's maybe empty because they're a vampire too. I don't know. I don't want to go. I don't like thinking about it. Let's just go get some sleep. As much sleep as you can in this town. Yikes.
All right.
Inn sounds good.
So, inn, final choice?
Yep.
Cool.
Yes.
You head out the town hall as you again hear the sort of bigger fat man continue to just shout and scream that he wants his justice. And you head across the town square, which is a sort of quite large fountain in it, and into the inn. As you walk into the inn, you see there's a couple of patrons sort of sitting around. You see that there's the blacksmith that you saw in the stables is sitting talking to a man who looks like he's sort of got a very weathered coat and covered in mud. And you see the quite large barmaid. She's got one that sort of like rustic look about her, like quite rosy cheeked, and she's sort of smiling at you as you walk in, and she goes, "Oh, hello there. Are you the people who've been sent down to live in the village for a few days?"
Yes. Hi, that's us.
Oh, that's wonderful. I've got some rooms for you.
Oh, thank you.
So she tells you where your rooms are, and she's just standing at the bar. What would you like to do? Do you want to talk to anyone? Do you want to do anything? What do you want to do?
I want to order a big old mug of ale, or 3, and then just gonna chat up some people.
Okay, so she gets you 2 or 3 ales, sits them down, says, you are be thirsty after that journey.
I'm always thirsty.
Are you, by chance, Tsar Taradi Tutsi?
Zatarosa? Aye, that's me. Why? Who's been saying my name?
Oh, well, we heard that this was your establishment from some gentleman at the town hall.
Oh, it's a lovely old gentleman.
Yes.
Oh, I'll be Uwe then. That's fine.
Okay.
As long as it wasn't the fat one.
No, I don't believe so.
No, that's good then. Don't really like him much anymore. He's been awful grumpy the last few months.
Yeah, grumpy people they're not very fun to deal with.
Aye. So where are you from then?
Oh, well, we're from just half day's ride that way, and I'll just point vaguely in a direction.
That's nice. Have you came to see the sights in the village then?
Yes, well, we're actually looking for someone that we used to know, named Wilfred Bosch. Have you heard of him?
Wilfred Bosch? No, name don't ring no bell to me.
Very long black coat and a very heavy accent.
Oh, you mean Bill? Bastard Bill. Well,
Well,
I
I
assume
certainly
you mean
hope not.
Bill. He's the only one that's been coming in here with a long coat and an accent. Well, unless you mean Mrs. Deck over there, but I don't really think he's been known to anyone, have you? And this old man turns around and looks at you and goes, turns back to
I'll
his
give
drink.
him a wave. No, I don't think that's him. Well, hopefully this Wilfred is not the same as this Bill fellow we hear such
I
terrible
hope
things
not.
about.
He's a bit of an ugly character, is Bill.
Well, that's what
He's
we've been hearing.
shouting at a lot of people the last few anyway.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That sounds awful.
What's he
Well,
been
you know, he's a
saying?
very uncouth character, is Bill.
Ooh.
Especially don't like the children much anymore. I mean, yesterday he was shouting at all of them.
Oh, well, that's not good. That's not good at all.
No, there's something about them singing a song about him. Well, you know, if he is going to sit up that tree all day, the children are going to sing songs.
Well, naturally, they're children. They're good at things
Children,
like that.
they've got to get a little song out of them every now and then.
Well, a singing
apparently-
child is a happy child.
Exactly
He was
my
sitting in
thought.
a tree?
Aye, but Bill didn't like no children singing about him. Got very angry. Started yelling that he's not a bird. Now, to be fair, I think Mrs. Goggins has got his number after what he did to her husband.
To her husband? What?
Aye, Bill shot Mr. Goggins.
Oh, no.
Aye, well,
With,
it was a bit of a nasty matter, really, but apparently Mr. Goggins challenged Bill to a duel. Then Bill accepted and shot him in the face.
Oof.
I mean, Mrs. Goggins, she had to bury her husband, God rest his soul.
Are guns a thing in this world, or is it? Was
No,
it
it's like crossbows are the closest thing
crossbows?
you get to an automatic weapon.
Okay.
Alright. I mean, you know, when a man challenges another man in a duel, you don't expect that man to draw a crossbow and shoot one to your face, do you?
Wait, then what's a duel?
Well, you know, it's maybe slightly more, you know, hands-on, maybe a fist fight or two, you know, that was scrap in the dirt. You didn't really expect Bill to draw a crossbow and shoot him in the face. And God rest his soul.
Was this before or after he punched the fat guy's wife in the face?
Well, I'm hoping you mean Bill, because I didn't remember Mr. Goggins punking anyone's wife in the
No,
face.
yeah, no, Bill.
Well, Bill was just a nasty character. Wouldn't go near him. He used to stay here for about a week, and he came down one morning and I said, "Good morning, Mr. Bill." And he got very angry. And I told him that, you know, this week's rent was due, and he told me to shove it. He said the council was paying, and I said the council don't pay for no rooms in here. And then he said the council are bloody paying, and I said no, they're bloody not. Then he told me that I was to leave him alone, and I told him, well, if you're gonna act like that, Bill, you can go and sleep outside. And he did. Had to get Astrid over there to clean out his room. He didn't have much though. Just threw it outside. Apparently the birds took it away.
The birds. Were they very large birds?
No, they just like shiny things.
Oh, well, that makes sense then.
That's why he's in a tree.
Gar. Well, he sits up that tree all day looking at that castle.
Where's this tree of his?
Oh, it's in the graveyard.
And, ma'am, do we have permission to go in the graveyard to see this Bill
Oh,
and
you can go in the
tree?
graveyard all you want.
Okay, well, wait.
Just don't be standing on Merdezadek's plants in there. I mean, Bill
Oh,
keeps
no.
standing on his cress. Damages the poor thing. I
Oh,
mean,
no,
Melchizedek over there, he's been trying to grow crops in that land for donkey's years. Really nice tasting cress, too.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll avoid those. Most definitely.
And at this point, the old man who talked before turned round and looked at you, and then after he hears you say that, sort of goes and rolls back round to continue his conversation with the blacksmith.
I'll wave to the back of his head.
Okay. Now, is there anything else I can help you with, loves?
Another ale. And then I'm gonna go sit down by the old man and the blacksmith.
Okay. So she gives you another ale. You go and sit down by the blacksmith. The two men sort of nod in acknowledgement of you being there. What do you want to say to them?
So, have you two had any run-ins with this Bill fellow?
Oh, Bill comes to bother me every single day at work. Keeps yelling at me that I'm either mis-selling him something, or I'm not doing my job right, or he just, doesn't like me tools. He just won't leave me alone. I'm just a simple blacksmith, and all I'm meant to be doing is building tools for the locals. I can build a shovel. I'm not very good building arrows, but Bill keeps wanting them, so I keep making them. And then he keeps complaining they're not done right.
So, he keeps buying arrows? How many arrows has he bought from you?
Oh, he's bought sort of bolt arrows from me, quite a lot of them now. Apparently, he keeps missing his shot, and he gets getting very angry that he's missing his shot all the time. Then he was blaming me for it.
Do you know what he's shooting at?
He's shooting at something up at the castle. I'm assuming he's trying to kill the vampire.
So the vampire's in the castle.
Aye.
Have you
Bill
seen the
sits up
vampire?
that tree all day watching him.
Have you seen the vampire?
Oh, I've seen him many times. I was the one that had to chase him away from that horse.
So what was he doing to the horse?
Oh.
I'm totally eavesdropping on this horse conversation.
At that point, the barmaid goes, "Don't you be telling stories about no horse." And the blacksmith sort of looks at the barmaid, then looks back and says, "Oh yeah, I better not talk about that. It's not polite conversation."
I just, glare back at the barmaid.
I am not having stories about no horse toucher here in this inn. If you want that kind of stuff, you can go behind the inn.
So there is a centaur.
At this point, the blacksmith sort of continues drinking, and he goes, "Well, there was all the animals we found after that vampire moved in. I mean, I found one of my horses. It had been bled till he's dry."
So, the vampire's only been killing animals, not people?
Well, we've heard stories from local villages that apparently there's people dropping all around. We haven't had any in here, but we've mostly had animals. I mean, I found my horse one day, and it had been almost bled dry. I had to kill the poor bastard with a shovel.
Do you know if the vampire has a name?
Oh, I don't know that much. All I know is Arturosa over there went up to talk to him when he moved in with a nice big tray of sweetmeats and everything. And the vampire said, "I don't eat that food." And then Joe did something weird with his teeth. And then Arturosa just ran away and just went, that must be a vampire.
Are you sure it's not just like a half-orc? They have weird teeth.
No. According to Zardosa, he's a human being, alright. Well, as much human as a vampire could be. He's not as tall as you, fella, though. He's closer to that man over there. And he sort of nods towards John.
So, when did Bill come in? How long did he get kicked out of the inn?
Oh, Bill arrived about a month ago. He's been sleeping in the field near my shop for about 3-4 weeks now.
Alright.
And he goes and sits up that tree when he's not shouting at me. Every night, though, he's up that tree staring at the castle. Goes to sleep around dawn, gets back up that tree around, early evening, won't leave it. Usually he comes to shout at me during the day.
Interesting.
Nothing's good enough for Bill, though. Doesn't matter what you do, he's just not happy. He just likes to be angry about everything. Even if you greet him nicely, he gets even more angry.
Well, I'm great at dealing with people, so I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
I wouldn't watch it too much. I mean, you know what happened to Mr. Goggins? And at this point you hear from the barmaid, "God rest his soul. God rest his soul."
Which god is that, by the way?
Oh, the one that looks after the crops and all that.
Boring one. Alright. At this point, I'm just gonna lean in really close and just be like, who can I hear about this horse from? I need to know.
Let's go to the back.
What? I can't be telling you in here. Zardosa will have my hide if I do. Eventually one will tell you, I'm sure, but it won't be me. Ask Ernst. Ernst will definitely tell you the story. He's not afraid of Zardosa. I am.
Alright. And then I'll just give him a nod and stand up and go back to the other two.
Okay. At this point you hear the sound of a bolt sort of coming unlocked, and you see a man in quite strong finery make his way down the stairs and sit down at the table. He kind of looks like he's on something. Like his eyes are just wide, like he's just had a complete revelation.
Is he wearing a tricorn hat?
No, he's just sort of sitting in relative finery, and he's just sitting down, and at this point the barmaid leans over and goes, "Here, was it good?" And the man just sort of, it's like he's trying to speak but can't, and the barmaid goes, "Right, well, she's done it again somehow." And at this point you see this massive, like 8-foot tall Amazonian woman just make her way down the stairs, grunt at the barmaid, and then go into a room at the back.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, that's Brumilda.
Mm-hmm. And what's her deal?
Oh, well, her tale's a bit queer, if you don't mind me saying. She turned up about 6 months ago, and, basically, these very strange men keep turning up and wanting to, have some time alone with her. And they pay handsomely enough. I mean, she's got quite a large fee, but they pay handsomely enough. They go up the stairs, and, you know, I mean, back in the day, I used to be a working girl for many years, and I had to go up and down the stairs hundreds of times a night to make even close to the money she makes.
How
She don't
much
speak
is
to
this
anyone. Oh, it's about 100, 200 gold. You've got to sort of look at Brumilda and she'll tell you. Problem is, she's a mute. You don't hear any noises coming from her room either. Just hear the sort of scraping sound. Very queer.
Alright, I need all of your money. I'm looking at Simone and John.
No.
My line.
Well, if she moved in 6 months ago, maybe she's had a run-in with the vampire.
Oh, she don't have no running with no vampire, and vampire run screaming if it did.
Well, I
Spends
should
most of
certainly
her time
hope so.
chopping wood out back.
Has she had a run-in with Bill?
No, Bill's terrified of her.
Good, that seems like the only sensible thing that he's done in this town.
I mean, Bill did come in here one night, bit heavy on the sauce if you don't mind me saying, and he said he was looking for a whore. I told him I don't have no whore. Closest thing I've got, well, one is Brumilda, the other's my daughter Astrid, and I ain't having Bill go near her.
Understandable.
And he looked at Brumilda, and he went, "I don't want to be fucked by a tree." Ever since then, Brumilda's had a thing for Bill, and every time she sees him, she gives him this look, and Bill just seems to shake and run away.
Okay.
You say she's out back chopping trees?
Oh, aye, it's what she seems to like doing in her spare time.
And with that, I get up and walk out the back.
Okay.
I will politely excuse myself, and I will follow after him. I'll just spy on him. And by spy, I mean just follow him.
Okay.
Blatantly obvious.
Well, did you say that Broomhilda fancies Bill?
Oh, no. I mean, the weird thing about Brumilda is, I've never seen her... Well, you know, you don't want to say such things, but I've never seen her, unclothed, as it were. Always wears the same clothes, never seem ruffled, never seem out of place. It's like she never takes them off. It's really weird.
Well, if you'll excuse me, it was a pleasure meeting you. I best go find my friends.
No, that's alright, away you go. If you want any food later, let me know and I'll get Astrid to make you something.
Yes, please. And with that, I would walk out the back door.
Okay. So you walk out the back door, and out the back door there is this massive, about 8-foot tall, built kind of like a tank, but a bit more slender Amazonian woman, just taking logs, putting them on top of a tree stump, and just chopping them in half.
Is she a Goliath?
Nope.
Does she look like she might be?
If she was a Goliath, she's got like human type skin. She's very strange looking, but she's kind of like Goliath build.
I'm gonna just like say something to her in Giant, because I assume Goliaths speak Giant, or in whatever my native tongue would be, to see if she seems to give any kind of recognition to it.
Okay. As you say that, she just looks at you and then just sort of shrugs and carries on to chopping wood.
I'll whisper, stage whisper to Zeke. She's a mute.
Yeah, I heard that bit. There's always the recognition of understanding. Why are you out here anyway?
Why are you?
I mean, it should be pretty obvious.
I mean, if you're questioning a witness, I want to be here.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think he's here for that. Zeke? I'm going to reach into my pocket and pull out 25 gold and hand it to you. I think you should have some fun.
We'll see what happens. So, I'm then just gonna say hi to her in the common tongue. See if she kind of reacts at all. And I'm just saying, I know that you're mute, but I assume you can understand what I'm saying.
Again, she just looks at you. That's a just complete blank look. And then just shrugs and goes back to chopping wood.
So you just chop wood and maybe have sex with people? Is that all that you do?
She again just looks at you, shrugs, and goes back to chopping wood.
Can we see the graveyard from where we are?
From where you are, you can see the graveyard is pitch black. You do see there's a massive tree in the middle of the graveyard.
Okay, I want to tug on Zeke, because he's super tall, like his sleeve. And I'll point to the tree.
Yeah, that's probably the one that Bill's in.
Can you see anything? You're tall.
I just like pick Simone up and like hold her up over my head and be like, can you?
No.
You just see a vague sort of black robed figure sitting in the tree. And you see a glint of, it looks like some sort of crossbow resting on the tree, pointed towards the castle.
I would thank you to put me down.
I'd set you down.
I will kick him in the shin.
Okay.
Ow. That was rude.
Don't pick me up without permission.
I thought that you wanted to have a better look.
I was asking you to take a look.
You probably got better eyes than I do.
Right, well, I'm gonna go back to the room. And I will politely excuse myself. Good night, good night. Good night, Broomhilda.
See you in the morning.
Walk in.
Okay.
Is there like another axe or anything around?
No, it seems just to be the one axe. She sits it down, but the tree sort of log, quite a large log on the stump, picks the axe back up, slices through it, sort of tidies things up, and then repeats.
I'm just gonna sit and watch for a little bit.
Okay.
And then if she doesn't seem to do anything, I'll just kind of like approach with like a couple of gold in my hand and just gesture towards her.
She sort of looks at the gold, looks at you, and then points to her eyes, and then points to her chest, like the sort of heart area. And she holds up like a 5 with one hand, and then closes it, and then holds up another 5, and then puts her hand down.
55.
She tilts her head at you as if she's not sure if you understood.
So I'll pull out my 50 and then 5 of what John gave me and just put it in a hand and kind of like looking at her.
She sort of tilts her head, and then sort of shrugs, and then literally picks you up, puts you over her shoulder, and walks up the stairs with you.
Whoa.
You are the first group that have successfully done this, so I have to type out what happens next to Zeke in chat. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
I just imagine like John hooting and hollering as he gets picked up. You did it, buddy! You did it!
I am laughing hysterically the whole time she carries me up the stairs. Because this has never happened to me before.
So, is John doing anything else?
I'd just be cheering him, following him in, and then just
All you
just
see
laughing.
is you see him get picked up, taken up the stairs,
Oh yeah.
into her room. You hear the sound of the door being locked behind, and
Yeah.
you hear the sort of strange scraping sound that was described before.
I'd just be smiling, cheering as he's being taken upstairs, and then call for Zartaroso,
Yep.
getting dinner.
Okay, so she brings you food, you have a good meal, and you head to bed.
Yes.
The next morning, your options are the castle, the blacksmith, the town hall, the inn, and the town square. Where would you like to go?
Well, we already talked to the blacksmith.
But that's where Bill hangs out.
And I believe I could help the blacksmith out, probably. I mean, I grew up in a blacksmith's family. And if we're looking for Bill, maybe I could just help him make some of his bolt arrows.
So, I guess, Zeke, how are you? I'll just stare at him, like with my big glasses, my big owl eyes, intently stare at him.
His eyes are pretty wide open and he seems pretty somewhere between zen and on something.
What, you never seen a man get lucky?
Like at cards?
Sure.
Have you spoken at all to us?
No.
I'm gonna wave my hand in front of your face, from your eyes.
He's pretty far gone.
Let's snap at him. Can you hear me? Snap right in his
He
face.
can respond, but he's kind of, as I said, somewhere between zen and on something.
Not so loud.
I'm speaking normally.
Shh.
Look at John. Is this normal?
No.
So, where would you like to go?
Well, we should probably go find Bill, I suppose. So, if he's hanging out at the blacksmith, there? Or do you want to go somewhere else? John?
I think the blacksmith is a good option. Zeke?
Righteous.
Right.
Okay, let's go to the blacksmith.
You head up to the blacksmith's. You find the man you spoke to last night just working away, making stuff. He just tells you that he hasn't seen Bill this morning, but, Bill tends to sleep in a couple of different fields. And he usually comes back in the afternoon to yell at him.
Ugh.
He sort of looks at Zeke and gives you a kind of look of the rest of you, just like, is he normally like that?
No, he is not.
He does tell you to watch where you're walking, because the horses are very skittish with anyone holding any items and going near them.
I don't believe we've met. My name is John Boulder. What was your name?
My name's Ferdinand.
Nice to meet you, Ferdinand. What are we making over here?
Oh, I'm trying to make some arrows for Bill. I made them last week, but he told me that you wanted them more silver. So I've been trying to work with silver. I'm not very good at it, but, it's best I can do. Got me trade.
You need a hand? My father's a blacksmith. I kind of grew up with the furnace.
Okay, you can roll smithing to try and give him a hand if you want.
Oof.
Yeah, you start doing it and he goes, I think I was doing better before you started helping, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm a bit rusty.
But as I was telling your friend last night, the horses are not exactly happy. And they were one of the bigger creatures we found being attacked by that vampire.
Can I go observe the horses, with my field notebook out, try to...
Well, as I said, you don't want to get too close to them. They're very evil-tempered.
I certainly won't get near them. I'm smart. I just want to draw them and make notes about their color and how pretty they are.
Oh, if you're not going near them, then that's fine, but be careful. I noticed a small bark on that one the other day. Don't think it looks too happy, and something's been near it.
Okay, so I would like to watch the horses, make notes on them.
The horses seem quite skittish.
Fair enough. Are they pretty, though? Are they pretty horses?
They're very pretty horses. They're quite large. They're obviously used for, plough work and stuff like that. There's a couple that are more sort of smaller build, that are like messenger horses.
Okay.
I would like to try to pet one.
Okay, roll to see what happens when you try and pet one. They are not happiest to let you. They seem like if you keep doing it, you're probably going to get kicked.
Okay, I'm just standing probably closer than I should be, but I'm not approaching them any closer.
Yep. Well, if you know what that vampire was done to these horses, you wouldn't go near him. Look at that neck. And he points to one of the horses that's got an obvious, small wound in its neck.
Can I see if I can tell what is wrong with its neck?
Sure, roll nature. Natural 1.
Beautiful.
You just think the horse has just been bitten by a really big fly.
Excellent.
So, kind of apologize, but overhearing your conversation with my buddy Zeke over here last night, we can't seem to get the story about what happened to this horse. And I look back around my shoulder. I don't see Zartarosa here either. Could you...
Well, the only story I'm willing to tell you about an horse is the one I found that had been bled dry. I'm not telling you the other one. As I said, you can speak to Ernst. Ernst will tell you no fear. I have a fear I'll start telling you and Zartarosa will come hold me up by the ear again.
Oh, that doesn't sound nice.
No, she's a very strict mom.
I like her.
So do you want to ask him about the horse that you found being bled dry, or do you know enough about it?
I would like to know about this horse being bled dry.
Okay. Well, one morning I came down and I found this horse, and it'd been, have that same mark that one there's got. Small bite mark just there in its neck, about an inch deep, inch and a half deep, like a single tooth. And the horse, God rest its soul, had been, significantly bled. I had to smack it in the head with a shovel to kill it.
Was there any a lot of blood on the ground?
No, there was nothing on the ground. It was like it had been sort of sucked up, I guess. Kind of like a vampire would do. There was only one mark, though. Kind of queer.
That is strange, I would think, and I'll like make a gesture to my mouth, like fangs. I feel like two fangs? 2 marks, maybe?
Well, there was only one mark. It was about same as the one on that horse right there, but it was about an inch deep. Only about barely a fingertip size, and he holds up his pinky and he points to like the tip of his pinky and he goes, about that size there.
Would you say that's about the size of, I don't know, a weapon or a crossbow, maybe?
Not like any weapon we know, and I'm the only one that makes crossbow bolts, and they don't look like any of the ones I've made.
Well, I will trust your expert opinion then. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else you wish to do at this location?
Is Zeke more normal now?
The longer time's going on, the more Zeke's kind of coming back to himself.
I'm coming down! So, he mentioned that the field that Bill stays in is like by the blacksmith. Is that the same location or is that a different one?
He says that he's not seen Bill in the usual location that he sleeps in. He seems to have been sleeping in different fields recently. But it used to be the field just next to the blacksmith, but since the last argument, he's not been sleeping there.
Gotcha.
If you're looking for Bill, your best bet is to wait around that tree till an early evening. Or if you really want, you can wait around here for another couple of hours and he'll probably turn up and shout at me, like he always does.
Where might we find this Ernest fellow?
Oh, Ernst is usually in the town council building. You can't miss him, he's a sort of large man with a big moustache.
We talked to him yesterday.
That was Ernest. New to town. Hard to get everybody's names and who they are.
So what time is it now? Is it
It's
still...
just getting into afternoon. So your choices for afternoon are the castle, the blacksmith, the town council, or the inn.
So we can wait here and possibly meet Bill.
Am I back to normal?
Yep.
Okay. We could go to the castle.
We would have better light if we went now, and then he's for sure going to be in the tree at night. So, seems like a good bet to come back then at night for the tree and castle now.
I concur.
John?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so castle final choice?
Yes.
Okay. The blacksmith is halfway up this hill towards the castle. So as you continue up the hill towards the castle, as you get to the top, you notice that outside the castle there seems to be, it starts off being just crucifixes, and then it's just every religious symbol you've ever seen in sort of wooden stake form, just shoved into the ground all around the front of the castle. It's like people are trying to hem the vampire in using religious symbol. And as you get close to the door, you notice to the side of the door there are like 3 or 4 like massive, like 70-litre buckets, which I think, having worked with American groups, I needed to convert this. It's 15.6 gallon, I think.
Okay.
So pretty massive buckets, and in the bottom of the buckets there seems to be a layer of dried blood.
Oh.
And as you approach the door seems to be covered in lots of like marks that obviously people have tried to get in and not been able to. Like there's marks from the door, like looks like axes and swords and arrows and bolts and everything just all around the door, as if people have desperately tried to get into this place and not managed it.
This looks nice. I want to make notes of like all the religious and everything that's been going on around this entrance.
I'm gonna go just try the door and see if it's like barred or if it's something that I might be able to pick.
You push at the door is solidly shut, and as you push at the door you hear a sort of yelp from the other side. Can everyone do me an awareness check, please? So Simone definitely hears the sound of yelping, and it sounds like someone hyperventilating from the other side. It sounds like someone going, "He's come for me! The bad man's come for me! He's come for me! He's come for me! He's not going to get me! He's not going to get me!" What do you do?
I will relay that information and then really loudly yell, Hi, I'm Simone, and this is Zeke and John. Do you need assistance?
At this point on the inside you hear, "He's come for me, he's come for me, he's brought friends, they're gonna all kill me, they're all gonna kill me, they're all going to kill me, they're gonna..."
No. No. No one's come to kill you. No one's come to kill you.
You're not
Can
going to
we
get to
talk
me.
to you?
You're just inside my head. You're just inside my head. You're not going to get to me. You're not going to get to me. Shut up!
Okay, yeah, this isn't working so well.
Are there any obvious, like, windows or anything like that
Nope.
above the door?
Nope, the door is solidly shut and locked. There's
What?
a small, like, flap that looks like it's, like, kind of like a sort of mail flap would look like just next to the door. It's literally about
What's
the
door made
size,
of?
probably because of the size of a Goliath. Like, if you turned your hand to the side, it's, like, just that size.
All right, Simone, I need you to squeeze through there.
Excuse you. No,
I'm kidding.
you're not. Okay,
Don't you tell me what I am or am not.
whoever's in there, I'm gonna knock again on the door.
Ah!
Hi,
Wait.
if
And you hear this, like, voice come right next to the door, and a really sort of quiet voice goes, "You've brought me blood, haven't you? You've heard my prayers. You've brought me blood, haven't you? You're going to save us all."
Okay, this is like some Bloodborne level nonsense right now. Out of character, say that. Inadvertently we've brought you blood. Are you stuck in there? Can you get out?
No, I just need the blood. How much have you brought me?
About a normal human's worth? I don't look at John, shrug, like, I don't know.
I'm just
Put it
gonna
in the barrel outside.
motion over.
Put it in the barrel outside. Put it in the bucket outside. Just fill that. Once it's full, we're all safe and I can sleep.
Okay, so he wants us to put some blood in the bucket. Yeah, that's a thing. He says that they're going to die. I think they means him. But this doesn't really sound like a vampire that's like up to no good in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
I don't appreciate rhymes.
Well, you just deal with my prime time. All right, big guy? Deal with it.
I will pick you up for every time you rhyme.
That's neither here nor there. But this is a weird situation.
You've come to save us, haven't you?
Okay, I'll go back to the door. How many of you are there? There?
Just me.
Okay, that's fine.
He means the royal us.
Do you have a name?
I'm Brian.
Brian. Okay, hi Brian. Hi. How much blood do you need and how soon do you need it?
I need an entire bucket. Outside. I need it by tonight, or else the dreams will come back.
Dreams? What kind of dreams?
The ones with all the eyes.
Oh, that sounds bad. Okay, and who do you think was coming to get you?
The Birdman.
Bad
Is
man.
he out there?
What does he look like?
I don't know. He's just out to get me. He wants me dead.
Okay, that's understandable. That you would be scared of somebody who wants to kill you. Will you excuse us for a moment, Brian?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Zeke and John. I think he's talking about Bill. Person needs
Probably.
blood.
Could be anybody in this village, though.
Well, it seems like people just think he's rude and are mad that they're killing horses, but none of them want to kill, per se. At least they don't want to do it themselves. So,
I mean, if they didn't want to kill him, why'd they hire a vampire hunting guild for months?
it's true. Does it sound like mean vampire? Have you talked to a vampire before?
I can't say that I have.
I can't say either.
Nope. I'm gonna
Well.
look back. What's the door made out of?
The door is made of... It's kind of like your traditional castle door. It's made of solid wood, but there's like enough metal stud work through it that it could pretty much withstand anything.
Okay. So, do you think they'd get mad if we just burned down the door?
Yes, I do. The historical building. You can't just burn down the door.
As you look at the door, you do notice that there are several scorch marks, like someone has tried to burn down the door before.
Hooligans. That's what that is from. Hooligans.
Or Brian. Or Bill. Brian's inside.
Brian's inside.
Hey, Brian. Do you
Yes?
prefer, like, fresh blood? Because you can come get some from me if you just open the door for a minute.
Just fill the bucket. It doesn't need to be fresh. Just fill the bucket. Just fill the bucket.
I'm convinced.
We don't have much time. You need to fill the bucket. The Birdman can't stop us. We need to fill the bucket.
Is the bucket for you or for the many eyes, Brian?
The bucket will save us all. All of us. The multiple eyes are coming. Without the blood, they will come.
Alright, so to John and Zeke. I'm not an expert here, but one scared vampire that's been eating some horses versus something with many eyes? I don't know what sounds worse.
I want to see this thing with many eyes. I'm curious.
Can we see the graveyard tree from where we are?
Yes, you see the graveyard tree. It's like almost the other side of the town from where you are. Like it's a very obvious like line of sight from where you are.
And no one's in it, as far as I can see.
No one's in it at that point.
Well, if we fill the bucket, Bad Man Bill's not going to be here to see it. And then we can go talk to him.
How close to full is the bucket?
Bucket is completely empty.
It's got some dry nonsense at the bottom.
I mean, I don't think that I have 15 gallons of blood in me that I can survive from. So I was just going to give him a little nibble, but...
And I will just tell you how much the normal human body...
He didn't say how full it needs to be.
Apparently, the human body has just over a gallon.
Oh, that's not going to work. So Simone has like half, and I have maybe 2.
I'm going to knock on the door again. Brian?
You brought the blood.
How much blood do you need in the bucket? Do you need it all the way full, or do you need just
I need the full bucket with blood.
The full bucket. Okay. All right, hold on. We could catch an animal. Do you think we could catch an animal?
I mean, that's probably why he's gone after the horses. They probably have a bit.
Do you really think he's the one who's gone after the horses? Or do you feel like he's maybe, like I'm thinking he's gotten other people to do this?
Could be.
Because, like, how are you going to get a bucket full of blood? My thoughts is maybe a horse. And so if you just puncture the horse with 1 dot, not 2, you could siphon all the blood out. I don't know, there's a lot of things that aren't adding up here.
It seems fishy. And not just in like a creepy town full of fish people kind of way.
That was last year.
Yep,
you're welcome.
So I guess I just kind of want to know, for like you guys, whose side are we on? Because as far as I'm aware, we are only sent here to find Wilford or Bill.
Who is probably Bill.
And report back. That was it. It didn't say anything about taking care of the situation. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would love to have this end in a happy ending, because that's just what I hear from
me too.
Past adventurers. But also, at the same time, I'm a little bit uneasy here with our choice of decisions. Not choice, options, I'll say.
Well, maybe we can buy a horse and bring it up here?
Probably feel better with that than just trying to take a horse.
Yeah, okay. How many gallons of blood are in a horse? That's a horrible question to ask.
I will check for you.
Thanks, buddy.
15, what do you know?
Great.
The average horse has 12.3 gallons of blood.
Well, that's pretty dang close.
And you said the bucket was 15?
Yep. 15 points. I'll tell you the exact number. It's
a big bucket.
15.978.
So 1.5 horses? So maybe a smaller animal like a goat?
Does it seem like
a baby?
Wow.
a baby what?
Anything? Like, I mean, except for maybe like a squirrel.
Is it a pretty wooded, heavily wooded area? Like, do you think we could... Does it look like there's a potential for us to catch something?
I mean, maybe. Or we just go talk to Bill, see if Bill's our man, and then go, because the job's done. That's option B, you know?
Well, you know, I gotta be honest, I kind of feel bad for Brian.
He sounds like a crazy person.
Well, you know, if you were having nightmares, you would be crazy too.
You got a fair point.
Sounds like this Bill is kind of harassing him.
I mean, if he's a vampire and Bill's a vampire hunter, you don't get mad at the dragon for eating the, sheep. That's what they do. Perfect analogy.
Well, it seems like everybody willing to talk to the vampire and hang out with him. And Miss Tootsie brought him some baked goods. He couldn't eat them, but she walked up to the castle and then was like, oh, a vampire. But then it's like it was pretty chill until the animals.
I mean, if we're going to get technical, isn't it weird that there's, like, however old this Brian person is just decided to stroll into town and occupy the castle and nobody really cared? That's weird.
Hey, it's free real estate.
I'm going to go plant my flag in this castle then. I think we're not going to get much more done here since Brian doesn't seem open to talking, except for telling us to give blood. We don't really have blood.
You can ask Brian anything you want. Whether he responds is a different matter, but you can ask him anything you want.
Are there any weird symbols on the bucket? The blood bucket?
Nope.
It's just a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna lean in closer and just be like, so do you think he wants blood to drink blood? Or do you think he wants it for, an offering?
Hey, Brian.
Yes?
Do you drink the blood or do you give it to whatever this multi-eyed thing you're rambling about is?
I don't drink blood. No. I'm not a vampire. I'm an archivist.
Then transmute some blood.
No. Archivist. I archive things.
Archivist. I thought you said
You're a librarian.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm an amateur myself.
I came here to record the last contents of the royal family, God rest their souls, house, so their estate could be properly liquefied. And then I found... Just, please. I don't want to get sidetracked, please. We need the blood. It's very important.
Is it for the royal family, Brian?
It's for all of us.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable explanation to you guys. You could probably trust him.
Yeah, I told you he meant the royal we.
Well, there goes my idea of lacing the bucket with...
Lacing the bucket with what?
Holy water?
Oh.
We could just fill it up with holy water. That seems kind of mean, though. If he's not going to drink it, I guess I don't really want to give it to him now. I thought he was, starving, and I guess I want to help a starving person.
So, Brian, is there a vampire in there?
No, it's just me.
Do you have weird teeth?
No. Why?
Somebody said that they tried to offer you some smoked meats or something and you couldn't eat it.
They brought me liver and bits of animal. I can't eat that. I'm vegetarian.
Are you a vegetarian? God damn it.
They don't understand. They started waving fish in my face and saying, why don't you eat this? It's good. I told them, I don't eat the animals. I like porridge.
I like porridge too.
Alright, so what do you do with the blood once the bucket's full?
It's just very important. It's no concern. It doesn't matter, just as long as the blood just is here.
That's a lot of blood, so it kind of does matter.
Oh, yes, it spreads quite far.
What?
Is there, a hole at the bottom of the bucket, like a drain? Or is it just solid?
It's just solid. This point he goes,
Okay.
It's very important that you... Shut up! It's very... He keeps stopping as if someone's interrupting him. He goes, excuse me 1 second.
Shut up, you're gonna get the blood.
It's okay.
Who are you talking to?
No one. It's just the blood. We just need the blood. Then I can sleep. Oh, I can sleep again. I don't have to see the eyes or fear for the Birdman.
Are you saying Birdman? Or
Badman.
Badman?
The Birdman. The one that nests in the tree.
That didn't answer my question at all.
It is a bird.
Bill.
Bird. I'll flap my arms. Bird.
I think he's talking about Bill.
Yeah, sure. Alright, well, we'll be back with the blood or something.
Maybe a bowl of porridge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just take the bucket outside. Just fill it with blood. It's all we need.
Are you going to be able to carry it?
I will find a way.
Alright, well.
Maybe, Brian, you should just come out here and test lift it, just to make sure that you...
I can't come out. The Birdman will shoot me.
Well, no, he's not in the tree right now. It's afternoon.
He will still shoot me.
No, I'll stand in the way for you.
No,
He's really tall.
No, I can't. I'm too close. I can't let the Birdman get me.
Hey, Brian,
Yes.
do you know a lady named Broomhilda?
Who?
I just thought he's acting squirrely, you were acting squirrely, Zeke. But, didn't work out.
Who is Broomhilda? Has she got the blood?
I mean, probably, but everybody has blood, Brian.
I need more.
All right, well,
How much blood have you gotten?
Not enough.
If we bring you the blood, will we be able to come inside?
I can't show you. The dreams are bad.
So, Brian, before you started having these dreams, did you find something or someone in that castle?
No, it's just me.
That was an odd number of no's, so that means it's yes.
Yup.
hey, Brian, it's me again.
Sorry.
I'm being serious. Brian,
Yes.
I don't know if you heard me, but I am an amateur archivist myself. Could you maybe, if I send the other two away, tell me what was in there so I can make a note of it so we can tell everybody else?
Are you returning to the city?
Yeah.
I have a book. I need to. And you hear the sound of someone running down a corridor inside.
Okay, all right. He's gonna get a book, guys. He's gonna get me a book.
Okay. Great.
Look, Steve, some people just don't understand how important a good book is. And it's very important.
My dad said kind of the same thing, but replace book with a hammer.
I mean, I guess, but that doesn't really make sense.
Well, it would if you were a blacksmith.
Fair point.
Okay, after a couple of minutes, you hear a sound of someone running towards the door and a sort of thud like something hitting the door. And then frantically you see this small, letterbox style thing open, and a sort of book is just thrust through and it just lands on the ground next to you. And
I'm diving for it.
And as the flap goes to shut, you see two very panicked looking red, sort of the kind of someone hasn't slept for a couple of days, their eyes are that sort of blood red colour.
Mm-hmm.
You see that when you look in, and the sort of very wispy, scrawny hair. Take the book, take it back to the city, and make sure that the royal family get it back so they know what's here.
Well, absolutely. You can trust me with the safety of a book.
Yeah, you can. She's a giant nerd. But she's really short, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still at the window?
The flap is shut now, but you can tell he's still behind the door because you can hear him panting.
Okay, I wanted to see if I could see his teeth, but I was too worried about the book. Well, I got a book now. I will put it in my bag.
You're not even going to look at the book?
Oh no, shh. I'll make a shush face at you. I know I'm going to keep this book safe and give a very big theatrical wink. Gonna put it in my bag safe, and then I'm going to slip it back out and look at it.
Okay. So when you flick through the book, the first few pages are basically as you'd expect from what he's just told you there. It's explaining things like several pieces of furniture and the condition they're in, describing the decorations. So it's things like antique table with this design, pretty good condition, pretty bad condition, so on and so forth. It's basically an itinerary of every single piece of furniture that must have been in the castle. After you get to a couple of pages in, you notice that the descriptions get vaguer and vaguer and vaguer. And as it gets to the last few pages, it seems to just be someone repeating the words, "Help me," over and over again.
Does this book feel like it's holding any magic, any
Nope.
bad energy? Okay, just a ledger. Okay, so I'll look at John and Zeke and just shrug, close the book. Well, should we go tell them that there is a vegetarian, not vampire, hiding in this castle named Brian?
I mean, we might need to go have a conversation with Bill if Bill's trying to kill him.
Well, absolutely.
Maybe that'll calm this psycho down.
I think he really needs that blood, though. Oh, maybe we should go shopping. I don't know.
Well,
Do you wish to know your next locations?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Your next location as it's getting into early evening is the castle, the blacksmithing stables, the inn, the town square, and the graveyard.
Graveyard. We gotta go talk to Bird Bill.
He's not there till night, though.
No, he said
Graveyard
early
accounts
evening.
for-
I'm pretty sure he said he's early evening, sticks on the tree, and then just chills all night. I could be wrong.
I thought
Tell me
it
what
was
your gut's telling you.
Until he goes to sleep at, like, early morning.
Oh, I heard like duskish, early evening, but if you guys feel differently, let's go somewhere else. We can either go buy a horse to get some blood, we could go grab some holy water, stock up on that just in case, or we can report our findings to town council. I heard early evening. I vote graveyard. That's me.
Or we could go see what that commotion was about in the town square and then go in the night when Bill's for sure going to be at the tree. Either
That's-
or.
Ooh, yeah, but then we can't come back to the castle until tomorrow. Well, we'll have to just see if Brian is still there, I suppose, tomorrow. Since I know he's not technically starving, I don't feel as bad leaving him in there without sustenance. So, yeah, let's go to the town square.
That sounds good.
So, town square final choice?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. You head down from the castle, and as you get into the town square itself, you see the sort of older man from the council office standing outside with a sort of crowd around him going,
Oh, everybody, we have just signed a monumental deal to guarantee your safety. You know,
Hey,
it's
it's Brian.
always our first concern.
and as he's chatting away to this group, you notice that the large fat man with the moustache is sitting just outside the inn with this weird, faraway look in his eyes. What do you want to do?
Go get that horse story.
So, what's the safety precaution? I'll raise my hand.
Oh, it's
the deal?
It's you, the child. Well, it's good to see you again. Have you been walking around with your lovely father, exploring our lovely city? Well, village.
We sure have been.
Fantastic. Have you decided which part of the city you'd like to live in?
The castle.
Oh, ambitious sort. I love it, but only once that dreaded vampire is gone. But don't worry, we've just got a next thing to make sure all you people are safe while we take care of that nasty vampire.
And it is.
We have just agreed a trade deal to import everybody a pound of steak. Because steaks are good against vampires.
Are we talking the meat or the wood?
He just looks at you and goes,
The meat, of course. Everybody is going to get a pound of steak. It's good against vampires, and at very worst, each and every one of you is guaranteed a fantastic meal once the vampire is slain.
Well, yeah, that would certainly keep a vegetarian away, but not so much a vampire.
What's a vegetarian?
Somebody that doesn't eat meat.
and all the town people just look at you just like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we have any of that silly city living down here. We are good old-fashioned people, you know.
Yep.
But, as I said, each and every one of you, including you, you adorable little girl, are going to get a pound of steak. It should arrive next week, because Jacob is just about to order it all.
Is Jacob there? Does he look
Jacob is not
distressed?
there. It's just the old man that's there. He seems to sort of revel a lot in the fact that there's a crowd around him that are all, like, frantically like, ooh, 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 ooh.
I'll lean over to John since I'm small. Do you see Bill?
I look for Bill.
From the distance you hear someone shouting from the graveyard, and you look over to the tree and you see that the man up the tree is indeed shouting at someone else. You can hear the sort of like style accent.
I believe
He's
that's
in the
Bill.
tree.
Look at that.
If you listen carefully, you can actually hear what he's saying.
I would like to listen carefully.
When you listen carefully, you hear him shout,
My name is not Bill. How many times do I have to yell at you stupid fucking people?
Yell at
Leave
him.
me
Oh,
alone. My name is not Bill. I don't want your stupid anti-vampire mechanisms. I just want to be left alone to shoot your vampire. Fuck off and leave me alone. How many times?
I'm gonna
Guys,
poke
I think I
Zeke.
found Wilford.
Zeke, yell at him. Yell at him. Is his name Wilfred? And I'm like poking him incessantly. Do it.
I'll
do
just
it. Yell at him.
as loud as I can. Just, Oi, Wilfred!
And at this point, Bill looks around really confused.
And I just like wave my arm towards him.
And he just looks at you quite confused, and then he just seems to sort of shrug and keeps his eye on you for a couple more seconds, but then goes
Start
back to
waving
staring at the
him
tree,
to come
staring
over
at
to
the
me.
castle.
I just wait for him to come over to me.
He's not moving from the tree. He's just sort of, he looks over you very confused that this massive Goliath is waving at him, but then he sort of goes back to watching the castle.
So is this in the same area, or was
No,
that from
it's more in the graveyard.
Okay.
Tell him not to go anywhere.
But you can just hear this, it was literally this very thick accent screaming that, his name is not Bill.
Well, should we send a letter back to our employer? Let him know we found Bill? Bill's gone a little squirrely. Bilfred.
This town's a bunch of idiots.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well.
you might want to send that letter. We should go talk to Bill, though.
Okay, so we'll send a letter.
I think we should also go visit Ernest since he's here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Want to get this horse story.
You walk over to Ernst and you recognize the look in his eyes as the same one Zeke had this morning.
Okay, let's go to the graveyard.
Well, no, is there, I just want to pull a random citizen, draw my attention to myself. Excuse me, citizen.
Yes?
Do you feel like the steak business is going to help you against this vampire?
Well,
Or
it
are you
can't be
unsure?
worse than the Rainbow Tabard.
What is the Rainbow Tavern?
Oh, Rainbow Tabard was an idea they had about 2 weeks ago, whereby anyone who wasn't well got to wear this tabard for a few days, and everyone had to be nice to them. Because, vampires prey on the weak and the sick. And if we take care of our weak and sick more than anyone else, then the vampire can't prey on them again.
I think that's a nice thing to do just generally to people.
Oh, it was a very nice idea, but,
Right, but not...
then some people took it too far. They used it all the time and claimed they were sicker than the other one, and then a fight broke out about who was the sickest one in town. And we had a big scrap, and we had to get rid of the Rainbow Tabard after it was ripped apart in a fight.
Oh, well, that seems like a waste of good cloth.
It was a shame, really. It's quite a nice thing, but, sometimes we can't have nice things, as the council say.
How do you get on the council? If I'm going to move here and I aspire to be on the council, what's that
usually
process?
it's a long time to get in the council. I mean,
Okay.
Jacob's only been on the council for about 10 years, but, after what happened to his mother, God rest her soul, he was sort of taken in by Ernst Uwe to sort of be the new page boy. And after working there for 10-15 years, they got taken on proper like.
Okay, all right. So it's kind of like an intern to permanent position situation.
It's a long time there. You need to have the town's welfare at heart, as Uwe would say.
Well, that makes sense. Okay, I can aspire to that. So I'm going to scribble that down in my notebook. Been intern, ? Full-time, benefits, ? All right, well, have you seen this vampire?
Oh, he's the evil one that lives in the castle. Apparently he
Yes,
does things to horses,
Yep, that's what I've heard. Well,
Filthy business, that.
I can only imagine. Well, thank you for your time, citizen. Give a nice wave and walk back to Zeke.
Bow and head off towards the inn.
All right, so John and Zeke. I don't think everybody here is an idiot, but I feel like some
Most of
people,
them.
not going to name any names, but they probably work on the schmounsel.
What are you saying? I don't get it. That's not a word. Schmounsel?
The schmounsel.
What is that?
The
Is
leadership.
that like the council?
Yes.
Do you have a speech impediment?
I was trying to be discreet, you buffoon.
I'm not a balloon.
Fair enough. Okay, well, do you want to talk to anybody else? Nobody has seen this vampire. Everyone is just living with these horrible decrees every 2 weeks from the council for anti-vampire measures. And Bill can't make a shot, so he's either really just hyped up and is not good, or he knows that there's not a vampire in there. I don't know. We have to talk to Wilfred.
Hear me out. The council's aware that he's not a vampire, but they're building this thing to build this town's reputation to bring in more people. Because the
To
town
fill the
itself is
bucket.
dying. Or to fill the bucket, maybe. Who knows?
To fill the buckets.
No, for the eyes.
That's not where I was going with it, but that makes sense. Yep. Nope, that totally was where I was going.
I'm scribbling all this down. I'm just going for it. Okay, we gotta talk to Wilfred. We gotta be sneaky about it. We're gonna deal with it.
So, as you notice everyone in the town square sort of making their way into the inn for what looks to be a sort of impromptu town meeting, you can go to the castle, the inn, or the graveyard.
Graveyard.
I think we should probably go to the graveyard and talk to Wilfred.
Yes, we are still employed to find Wilfred. So
So is
let's
it
find out what
Wilfred or is it Wilford?
Wilfred.
Okay. So you head into the graveyard, and it's close to about midnight at this point. And as you get into the graveyard, you hear a and then you hear a cheer fly out from the tree.
I got the bastard!
God damn it.
And at this point, you see the man in the tree jump down, and he puts his crossbow over his shoulder quite happily, like almost singing to himself. And he begins, like, about to walk past you, and he's like,
I'm out of this stinking village.
Are you Wilfred?
Yes, my friend. How can I help you?
Did you just shoot the guy that was in the castle?
I shot my mark. My reputation is complete. I'm going to go claim my monies and leave.
You shot
guy?
Brian?
That guy wasn't a vampire. You're an idiot.
That guy was paid as if he was. It does not matter to me now.
Yeah, it does. You gotta go confirm that kill, sir.
Yes, I'm on my
we
way to
can't
it now.
let him
I'm going to go and
go.
grab the body.
No, I'm gonna go with you. No, look at pick me up.
Simone, we can't leave the area. We're stuck here.
No, if we go with an NPC, it's fine. pick me up.
in this case, you can follow him as he walks to the front of the castle, and he picks up the body of Brian as he's been shot through the head.
No.
Like, literally shot right through the temple. And he's like, it's not normal for a vampire to die so easily to an arrow, but I'm not complaining. I have
That's
been
'cause
stuck
he
in this
wasn't
cesspit
a
for a month. And
vampire.
I'm glad to go home. Now, I need to just take this, and he holds up his shoulder. I will show it to the village, and I can leave.
No, look at his teeth. Look at his teeth. I'm pointing
Not
down.
my concern. I just
Look at his
paid to
teeth.
shoot him. You can
just
look at it
killed
if you want once I put it down in the inn.
I'm going to take a peek inside the door.
Okay, the castle is lying open. So it's up to you if you follow Bill down to throw the body into the inn, or if you have a look at the castle.
Crap.
No, Bill, you gotta come with us. What if there's more vampires in the nest? We talked to Brian.
There's nothing
he said
more in
was more.
there.
Have you been in there? Do you know?
I went around every single door apart from that one and closed it off. Nothing else apart from this screamy wretch has come out of this.
Okay, well, bear with me, and I'll pull the book out. See, this is a ledger from Bill, the vegetarian that you shot.
Who is
And, like-
Bill? Who is this Bill?
Brian.
Is this who they've
Brian.
been confusing with me?
No, you're Billfred. This is Brian.
I am Wilfred. My name is not Bill.
Doesn't matter. Look, and I'll show him the book. Does this look like
Very
the scribbling?
nice. Lots of
Yeah,
words
no.
and pictures. Yes, very nice.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
but see
just
this-
want to get
help
out
me?
of here. I'm sorry.
And
No,
he just
no.
pushes
Okay.
past you, and he just carries on walking down the hill towards the inn with the
I just
body.
want to grab him like by the face, just with my huge hand to his face to like make him stop.
What
Look
do
at
you
him. You're
want,
going in there
young
with us.
man?
You need to shut up for a minute.
Fine. What do you want to tell me?
This town's full of idiots.
I know that. I'm sick of them too. Their chirpy fucking optimism.
So that man was getting blood for something that he said had many eyes. He wasn't himself a vampire.
Yeah. Crazies
The blood.
everywhere.
The blood was to stop the many eyes. Look, does this look like the ramblings of a vampire? Just help me.
Yeah, vampires are a weird sort.
Well,
I just
you
want to go home, my own
Yes.
bed, and sleep for a month. And not sleep in a field, not wake up to that fucking song about the sunshine, not deal with any of these fucking idiots or that fat bitch from the inn anymore.
Hey, so we were paid to find you, good sir. We found you.
Congratulations, you found
still.
me. Are you leaving with me now as I go home?
No, you're gonna come into the castle with us, and we're gonna see what is going on here. I give him a big stare down from my glasses.
I need my bed. I've been living in a tree for the last month.
Well, whose fault is that, rude? Okay, now come with us.
And he kicks the door in at the end and he throws this body down and goes,
You're all fucked. He's dead. Now, pay up.
and at this point you hear an enormous cheer come up from the village as all of them start like dancing and singing that the vampire's been killed. And at the end of it you hear,
Oh, well, marvelous, marvelous. I have your payment. Zartarosa, do we have his payment?
and the barmaid goes, I ain't paying him anything.
That's nice, Zartarosa. Just hand it over so I can pay him now. I'll get it back from Jacob later.
And at this point, Zartarosa grumpily seems to be putting gold into a bag, and Bill is just standing there like,
Look, I know you think there's more here than there is, but I am done here. I don't want anything else to do with this village. I just want my own bed. I will even give you my crossbow if you want. Just let me go. I need to get away from this sodding village.
I don't know. John, Zeke.
Wilfred, as much as I want to stop you, I think you would help us if you were to stay. I don't know if we can pay you to stay. All I have is 25 gold to offer.
God doesn't matter to me anymore.
We have our contract, so we have another 50 upon our return each.
Mm-hmm.
I just want my bed. I want my wife. I don't want to sleep here any longer.
Have you had nightmares in this city, Wilfred?
Ugh, what would you call living in this city for the past several weeks?
Roughing it.
How about
Every
this?
morning they wake up and they sing about the fucking sunshine. They wake me up, they're like incessant birds.
How about this? We just buy your services for one day. One more day.
Or we just let him go. He's an idiot who doesn't know what the difference between a vegetarian and a vampire. I'm saying that very loudly so he could hear me saying that too.
he just gives you a glare and then just goes,
Fuck it, I don't care. I have fought everyone in this village for the past 2 weeks. Everyone. I'm done fighting people. I just want to go home.
Okay, well, just tell Christoph Radigan that we... And be along shortly if you run into him.
I will tell him. I will also tell him that next time we get letters from a village, to tell them to fuck off.
and he takes the bag from the barmaid who's giving him a very sour look. And a lot of villagers are giving him very sour looks, and then they're like, wait, he's leaving? And an even bigger cheer goes up across the village, and they literally start breaking out these massive kegs of ale and start drinking. And Bill's just like,
they won't miss me. If there was anything in that castle, that thing watched over it.
and he points at the body of Brian and goes,
I don't know what he was. I don't care anymore. I just want away from here.
and he walks up to the stables and goes,
What have they done to my horse? Oh God, what have they done to your neck? Oh, these bastard villagers don't even know how to keep a horse.
That was your horse? They said that was the vampire.
Look at this mark. This is no vampire. It's mark done with tool.
That's what I said.
You know what? Both me and you need to get out of here.
and he taps the horse sort of lovingly in a way on the side, and he just climbs up on top of it and goes,
I know you people want the best, but this village is cancer. You will not get anything good here. Leave before they drive you all insane.
and he just starts heading off along the road. So as the massive party is going on in the village, you have the choice to go down and talk to the villagers or go explore the castle. What would you want to do?
Can I just check Brian's body and check his teeth real quick?
Yep. You can check his body and do what you want. A couple of people have picked it up and taken it to the fountain, and they seem to have draped it over the fountain in a sort of celebratory way. But you can just walk up to it and look at the body, no one cares.
I think we should go to the castle.
Are there any symbols on the fountain that maybe match the religious symbol we found on the way to the castle?
The fountain just seems to be a generic fountain. It's again got the same kind of finery as the town hall and the inn. And as you look at Brian's body, Brian is a very malnourished human. He has nothing out of the ordinary about him at all. He has normal teeth that are slightly yellowed, but nothing more than that. He has, he's very skin and bones, and he looks like he's got a couple of large cut marks that are barely healing on both his arms, as if he's tried to, bloodlet.
Well...
Does he have a pouch or a bag or anything in him?
He had a small, sort of knapsack, looks like, with him.
Can I take the knapsack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's in the knapsack?
You open it up. Inside there is what looks like a quite large bore needle and a tube.
Ugh. Yuck. I'll show Zeke and John.
What's that for?
Transfusions. Getting blood out and in.
You also notice with Brian's body that his hands are very, almost stained with crimson.
Can I see if he has any puncture marks or anything like that on his body anywhere?
You look at his body, apart from some quite obvious slashes along his forearms that look like he's continually cut himself open. There's no puncture marks on him.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should go see what's in this castle. Hey, in that book, you said the writing got crazy. What was the last thing that he looked at before it went crazy?
Oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
Are you meaning from the start, or do you mean just at the end?
Yeah, so right before the help me's.
Just before the help me seems to be he was cataloguing books in the basement around one of the royal crypts.
Okay, well, there's nothing shady about books.
Are you an idiot? Where do you think wizards keep their spells? Where do you think writings about ancient evils are kept? In books.
To keep them safe.
Who wants to keep writings about ancient evils safe? The chances are, whatever might have drove him insane was in one of your precious books down in the basement.
Well, they were probably being safely kept there, away from other people. But, all right.
Yeah, probably not labeled as, hey, don't read this if you want to stay sane.
Well, that's just poor cataloging, and I should probably talk to somebody about that. Let's go to the castle.
Okay. You walk into the castle door. On the inside of the castle doors, you notice that there are about at least 12 deadbolt locks. As in, Brian seems to have put loads and loads of locks to make sure there was no way this door could have got opened by anyone from the outside.
Poor Brian.
You also see a couple of empty buckets by the door. You see a small corridor leading to what looks like a tiny study. In the study there's a fireplace, and the fire's beginning to die. There's a table with what looks like a bag of oats stolen from the stables, and a small half-eaten bowl of porridge. In front of the fireplace is a rug and a overstuffed leather chair that looks like it's been slept in, and a sort of blanket hanging over it. And to the back of the room there is the only two other ways into this room seem to have been barricaded heavily by whatever furniture was left.
Well, the book said basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As much as I'm worried, I think that's our best option to find the stairs down. At least to uncover this mystery here.
Anything in the room seems vaguely unsettling or magical or stained with blood.
You notice a couple of small trickles of blood sort of just leading into the room, but that's about it.
Okay.
And you notice on the sort of leather chair on both of the arms there seems to be blood stains, but they look to be whoever's sleeping in the chair had bleeding wounds.
Is there any bloodstains coming from the barricade doors?
Well, should we knock on one of the doors?
They're not so much doors as just sort of the corridor seems to be barricaded by all the furniture, so there's no way to pass through easily.
I would just start moving some of the furniture out of the way, if possible.
Yep, you can take your time and do that if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, what's everyone else doing while you're doing that?
I would like to make a torch.
Okay.
I'll be helping Zeke.
Okay. You clear one of the barricades, and as you sort of take a walk through the room it reveals, you notice after a couple of steps that it's thick with dust. As in, there's no way anyone could have been here in at least several months.
Okay, well, not this way. Should we check the other one?
Sure.
Okay. You dismantle the other one, and again, after about maybe even 5-6 steps, you realise that it's thick with dust.
I'm gonna go back into the room and see if there's maybe anything under the rug or anything like that. Might be like some sort of hidden passage or something.
You lift the rug, you find the trapdoor.
Well, I will shine my torch down there and open.
Okay. You lift the trapdoor. There's a couple of bloodstains on the stairs leading down.
I would pull out one of my torches and light it off of Simone's.
Okay.
So we have 2.
It's pretty damn dark down there, but you do have torches so you can see. As you make your way down, you see at the bottom of the stairs one sort of like massive stone sarcophagus.
Has it been disturbed?
Nope,
Is it covered in it?
it's completely intact.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger and then just kind of start looking around near the sarcophagus.
Okay. You just sort of wander around the sarcophagus. There doesn't seem to be anything around the immediate sarcophagus.
Is there any corridors around the sarcophagus or
Nope.
the bookshelves that we're looking for?
The walls all around look quite dark and, take quite a lot of light to illuminate any of them when you look towards it. Can everyone do me an awareness check, please? Okay. You notice one of the walls off to the side seems to be darker than the rest.
I will go in that direction and to inspect it closer.
Okay. As you get closer, you notice that the wall is like almost breathing in and out, and you notice that it's covered in a layer of wet and dry blood. And as you notice this, tentacles begin to start spouting from the lower side of it and start whirling their way towards you.
Guys! And I'm gonna try and move the torch and swipe the tentacles.
Okay.
I will, from a safe distance, use my ice wand and try to freeze them.
Okay. And what's Zeke doing?
I'm just gonna roar and start running at him with my dagger drawn and a
Okay.
throwing knife in my other hand. Actually, I'll probably throw a knife first.
Okay. Let's say John rolls me strength and Simone rolls me int.
Would a throwing knife be dex?
Yeah, throwing knife and dex.
22.
And
Okay.
spot heat.
Your ice wand freezes one of them. It freezes solid and just stops moving. Your throwing knife sinks into the side of one of them. It sort of pours out a thick green ichor and it retreats slightly. And your torch catches one of them. It immediately withdraws from the fire quite dramatically, and then 3 or 4 more tentacles slowly begin spawning around it and start moving towards you again.
What was the source of these tentacles again?
It seems to be just coming out of this wall that seems to be almost breathing. It's covered in this layer of drying blood.
I want to run around the sarcophagus and hide.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out my second torch in my other hand and light that, so I have 2 torches.
Okay.
I'm gonna just run with my dagger out and start basically trying to impersonate Drax in Guardians 2.
Just start chopping them up. Stabbing them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I put my ear to the sarcophagus?
Natty
Do I
20.
hear anything?
Yep, you got a natural 20. You slice through 2 or 3 of the tentacles. They again pour out this thick green ichor, but more and more tentacles seem to be spawning from the wall. You put your ear to the surface, you don't hear anything.
I want to knock on the sarcophagus, please.
Okay.
Hello?
You don't really get any response.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll jump out and try to...
Hey, I'm trying to sleep in here.
It seems a very solid stone sarcophagus.
So this wall is covered in blood, right? And it's
Covered
just
in
kind
drying
of
blood, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just pulsating.
Yep. It's pulsing like a heartbeat.
Gonna try and shove a torch into it.
Okay. Roll. Okay. You thrust your torch forwards. All you seem to do is dry some of the blood on the wall, and the ground starts shaking.
Oh, guys, we need the vampire. Just go with me on this, all right?
He's dead, Jim.
You need the blood to wake the vampire to help stop the tentacles.
No,
Can we wake up the vampire? Wake him
I
up.
think the tentacles wanted the blood. I'm just gonna see if I can try and stab the wall.
Open the
haven't-
sarcophagus. Open
I haven't
it.
seen any eyeballs yet, so I think we're okay.
Roll to stab
Alright.
the wall. Your knife breaks on the wall.
Crap.
What is Simone and John doing?
Trying to yell at Zeke to get him to open the sarcophagus. If he has time, open it.
I'll pull back and try and open the sarcophagus if John doesn't do it first or whatever.
In a last-ditch effort, I'm going to throw some antitoxin on this wall.
Sure. So while you throw that onto the wall, Zeke, roll me a strength roll to try and open the sarcophagus. You do manage to open it. You shove the lid off the sarcophagus. It just rolls to the side, smashing on the ground, and inside there is a coffin and it's very strong smell of blood. And on top of the coffin there's a small gold plaque. The ground continues to shake very, very violently, and you hear the whole building begin to like creak and moan as if it's being pushed against something.
Can I read the plaque? My torch?
It says God rest her soul.
Her soul.
I'll try and pry the lid off the coffin.
I will shoot an ice bolt at the tentacles as they're encroaching, I would imagine.
So you roll int for that, and Zeke roll a strength to try and rip the lid of the coffin. Yep, you rip the lid off the coffin with ease, and inside there's just like a very dilapidated coffin covered in dried blood. You do manage to freeze another tentacle. It just freezes solid and just falls to the ground and shatters, but emits this thick green ichor. There's now almost a wall full of these tentacles now. The ground is shaking so violently you can barely hold your feet.
Oh. We gotta go, but I gotta know what's in the coffin.
Blood.
Okay, then let's go.
Yeah, I think we try to bail out at this point, is what Zeke would do.
Okay.
I'd probably pick up Simone and just throw her on my shoulder.
Can I shoot ice at the coffin real fast?
Yep.
Okay, I want to do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna freeze it.
Roll.
Just in case. Okay.
Okay. You shoot ice into the coffin. You seem to freeze whatever's in there, but there's nothing much in there.
Okay.
As Zeke and Simone are leaving, what's John doing?
What are my options?
You can bug out with the rest of them, or you can stand and try and do something with the tentacles.
Don't do anything with the tentacles, Steven. Steven? No.
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Yeah, I'd bail out too. Maybe like tossing a throwing axe back.
Okay. All of you run out of the building, upstairs and out the front of the castle. As you run at the front of the castle, you look down at the village. Everyone seems to be drunk and sort of staggering around, apart from the young council guy, Jacob, who is standing in the middle of the sort of town square with his arms outstretched, and he sort of looks to the left and to the right and sees you running out and says, "Brothers and sisters, I bid you all welcome. Be the first to see Ipsa Cork to our world."
Oh, I'm throwing a knife into his face.
And
Jacob, your mom's a monster.
as you throw the knife, you hear this tearing sound, and the castle behind you splits in two. A massive, about several 100 meters tall, frog-like beast just rises up with hundreds and thousands of eyes, and it blocks out what's the remains of the moon and sun. You have not saved the world.
Oh, that was bad. We did it bad, guys.
Ah, dang.
No.
But on the good side, people can come listen to you guys in later. Where can they find you? So I will turn it over to you. Who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you?
Well, I'm Aaron. I'm the DM for a D&D 5e actual play podcast called Beyond the Tavern. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and all the other social medias, Instagram, etc. at BTT Pod. You can download us wherever you get podcasts. So Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, some other ones, I think. I don't remember. Just at Beyond the Tavern or at BTT Pod. You can find me on Twitter at properly_Aaron.
You can find me, Steven, at the Steve C1.
And you can find me, Kaylin, at Kaylin Vicarian. I am a player on Beyond the Tavern podcast, and I also run the Instagram. So come check us out.
Cool. So are you guys doing story at the moment? Are you doing homebrew? What kind of thing are you doing?
We're a homebrew world, and by the time this releases, our second season will be out. We've gone kind of Starfindery. It's a little bit sci-fi, fantasy, and space through the astral plane, not normal space. But yeah, it's getting wild and fun.
Right, cool. Do you have anything else you'd like to add at this point?
My birthday's October 5th, so come hit me up.
Hey, there we go.
Happy Halloween. Please tell us all of your Halloween costumes. Tweet at us when this comes out because we want to know. I want to know because I'm obsessed. Please tweet at me your Halloween costumes. Thank you.
No problem. I will make sure to put that as in the description at the end.
Please do. And I will tweet mine.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. This was a lot of fun.
No,
Oh, yeah.
as ever,
Lots of
I am
fun.
happy to have you guys on. I love running stuff with you guys. So all that remains is we just say good night. So I will open up to you guys just to say one last time, good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Sweet
Good
dreams.
luck. Good luck.
Thank you for listening to this episode of our 2019 Open the Dungeon Halloween series. The story was written by Nikolai Pupsky and Artie McNeil, with all music by Daniel Boström. If you would like to be involved in future Halloween recordings, please send us a message at Penance RPG. This year's episodes are also a part of the All the Horror 2019 collaboration. Check out #AllTheHorror on social media for more gruesome goodies. If you would like to support Penance RPG in future projects, or just think you'd love to have our Halloween logo on a shirt from our recently opened Teespring, links can be found in the description. Until next time, good night out there, whatever you are.